Hello, everybody.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome back. We are doing a special, we've never done this before. We're doing like a special energy update, and also we did some card pulls, and we just want to talk about like where we're going energetically as a collective over the next little bit.
As you know, we are on the last quarter of our year. So fall is about to begin, and that's exciting time. Fall, I was telling Krista before we started this podcast that realistically, fall is my favorite season.
Which is so funny. I totally thought it would be like the dead hot summer.
I love the heat, but I also love sweater weather. I love layers. I love the colors of the leaves.
I just envisioned you in like an orange turtleneck, like a total pumpkin spice latte.
I wear.
Lady would wear.
Oh, heavens yes. 1000%.
With Uggs.
I know, like Chelsea boots.
Okay, Chelsea boots.
Chelsea boots with the same color boots.
But I'm envisioning like a woman's outfit on you.
They're sexy.
But I feel like, but you definitely do. You have the legs for it. You definitely do love a good turtleneck.
I love turtlenecks.
And you look really great in them.
If you guys listen to this podcast, you'll know over the years that I love turtlenecks. Like I'll wear a turtleneck and a suit,
and it looks short.
But I won't wear a button-up shirt. I'll wear a turtleneck. Like Ron Burgundy from Anchorman. Now he wears this like suits and turtlenecks. Like that's what I do.
I always joked that you should get like one of those Dickies and just put it under everything. It's like a half turtleneck. It's not like a full shirt. And it's just the neck.
No, it has to be a full turtleneck, keeping me my body nice and warm and hugging me and just slightly choking me. It feels so good. Feels so good.
That could go down a very bad direction. So we're gonna keep this PG. So it's interesting though because you have 0 sweaters, so we're gonna have to go shopping.
But then I'll have to get rid of clothes.
Yeah, well that's fine. Then next year in the spring, when you realize you have no t-shirts because you got rid of them all, we'll go shopping again.
Then I'll have to get rid of clothes.
Vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle. This is what
you
happens.
did have like two really nice kind of like boat sweaters. I love that burgundy one.
They were nice, but I donated them.
Yeah.
And they're at a happy home now.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Anywho, we could probably talk fashion. Actually, that's probably
That's our background. That's our background.
That is our background, yeah. You wouldn't believe it. Looking at us right now, we're in sweats and jammies.
Yep.
So, okay. Sweater weather aside, we are moving into, in a few days, the Libra Equinox or the fall equinox. And I only say Libra because I like the astrology of it, but also, this is so cheesy, but there's like so many astrologers and stuff who are in different hemispheres, and so it's spring in the southern hemisphere. They go, and some of their fall lingo like wouldn't line up, so they just like cut the fall spring situation, and then they just do like the Aries or the Libra. Right. So anyways, I kind of got hooked into that, and I also just like the aspect of the astrology side of things, but coming from like a more, everybody who listens to this podcast lives in Canada, I think. It's the fall equinox.
Right.
It is Libra season on that day, but it's the fall equinox, and it's just, I feel like I've been doing a little bit of listening of like astrologers that I like and energy folks that I like to listen to, and it's like the last 3 months of the year are going to be doozies in a good way, I think.
No, they're going to be doozies in an amazing way.
Yeah. It already feels better. September just feels better than August felt, which is really upsetting because it's my birthday month and I always just want to celebrate and be like...
But like what happened in August was a lot of like shadow work. We had to do a lot of shadow work. And like now we can like, and then like...
I love how you say shadow work.
Yeah. And then when people started talking about like the end of August and stuff like that, it was like, now it's time to get out of that shadow work and like enjoy the growth that you did.
Yeah, that's hitting the nail on the head for me personally. And I just feel like the way that I'm feeling things right now, that's what it is. It was like truly and honestly, the most of 2022 was really hard and it was heavy for me personally. And then now September came, it was like, oh, I can breathe again. I have fucking heartburn, so I can't breathe all the time, but I can breathe again. You know, like it's a lighter feeling, and there's not this like dense, like
dense
mental
cloud of fog or hate in your heart and your head. So you can just kind of let that go. And I was telling Krista today, we were talking about the end of the quarter and stuff like that, and like how businesses start to ramp up their thing just to kind of hit their quota, hit their goals. And I was like, well, people could start like their New Year's resolutions early, and that way when they're hitting into 2023, like they're taking off. Like it just feels like it's part of them, the things that they want to set, the goals that they want to have. And like I always believe there's no bad day to start something new. So the last 3 quarters this month, or the last 3 quarters, like the last quarter of this year, you can like start the things that you want to do and like really just start ramping yourself up and like give yourself the time to make those mistakes and kind of have that step back and then get back into it and step back.
So that in January you're not plummeting into depression.
You're already you're killing it. You're rocking the game, and you are just like, you know, you can say 2023 is my year.
And actually mean it.
Yeah.
Not just for like the first 2
Boss
weeks of January.
bitch, yes, get in.
So what was I going to say? Now you've distracted me with your boss bitch.
Boss bitch babe.
So I was saying too, in response to that, it's like we are full-fledged adults, but it is still back to school. I mean, we don't have kids in school yet, but like it's this energy of like, okay, the summer, energetics aside, summer, you fucking vacation. You want to be outside, you want to like slow down, enjoy the heat, enjoy the sun and your garden and your yard and the beach and whatever, all the things that literally only last for 2 months.
Right.
And then the fall comes and you're like, okay, fuck everything, I want to get back on track, I want to go back to yoga, back in school, I've got my day planner working again. Like nobody uses their day planner in the summer.
No.
You know, and then the fall comes and you're like, you know what, no, I am gonna just structure my life a little bit more. And so I like that there's that energy already just kind of ingrained in people, but then there is this other concept of like self-improvement in September in a way, you know, and like fall into winter.
Yeah, just getting yourself ready and getting like, you know, I feel like a lot of like you think about the bears, or like what are they doing right now? They're getting their food,
they're getting their stuff together for the winter, and
they're eating a lot more just to kind of keep that body fat while they're in hibernation. Squirrels are gathering their nuts and all that fun stuff. So like as humans, we're probably just starting to gather all our resources and like creating that emotional and mental space for things that are going to come, because wintertime, if it drags on as long as it did last year or this one, like last winter, it became like hard.
Yeah,
like,
it got
like I felt the winter blues. Like,
totally.
And I
Leon's
think myself
blue
as
person.
no, I think myself as a very like positive, you know, Paul, and like this is just
positively.
Like, it's just always like, you know, it's only like a few more weeks left, but then that few more weeks turn into a few more months, and it's just like holy moly. And like I drive pretty far to work, so driving to work in that winter was just like, oh man. So like I find myself like already preparing to have a better winter. Winter, and like even if that winter is still like as harsh, that I can mentally just be like, okay, you know what, I have this. You know, I have these like resources that I cultivated through the fall, and that I'm feeling a little bit more prepared to deal with what comes. I honestly feel like though, like from the fall equinox to the winter solstice, which is at the end of December, and then from there it gets really introspective. So this is kind of like a bit of a time when you can like do some stuff and put some things into place, and then after the winter solstice you're like, okay, I kind of need to hibernate, like just on an energetic level now. Like I need to hibernate, it's minus 50. I'm gonna stay inside, we're gonna burn the wood stove, we're gonna like read a book and like turn up the heat, get cozy with the family, just slow down a little bit, because then, you know, on like a societal level, we just had Christmas or holiday season, everybody's broke as shit and exhausted and overweight and just like tired, you know, and like it's just an energy shift. And like this is and like what Chris is saying, that like this is the equinox that we're having now. I'm gonna say the fall equinox. This is where like a lot of us are doing our Christmas shopping and so much joy, and we're like getting gifts, and we're like, you know, spending the money that we made
You're right.
Early.
You're harvesting.
Yeah, we're just basically just like putting it out there, and we're getting gifts, and then we do hit that, winter equinox, and then like, we have
or
solstice, and then you're just kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like so drained financially, mentally,
every way,
emotionally, and it's just unreal.
Yeah. So you can really see the flow of like the energetics, the astrology, and also just like societal things that can kind of move us through these different phases. So we will do a different one, another podcast on the winter. Like, we should just make this a thing that we do like every quarter.
Yeah.
As you say. And we'll do one in winter. But yeah, it is.
I come from a very corporate background.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to let that go, but it's just still like engraved in me. So
last quarter we gotta push it.
Last quarter, it's the first quarter. We're like, let's start off with a bang. Second quarter, keep that momentum going. Third quarter, we're killing the game, but we don't want to let up off the gas. Yeah. Last quarter, keep on going.
But the last quarter in retail, are you kidding me? Is your best part of the year.
Yeah.
We're talking Christmas. We're talking Thanksgiving. We're like every major holiday, Halloween, like all these holidays, bang, bang, bang. You're making tons of cash. You're making bank. So, yeah. Okay, let's talk Libra energy, because that is where we're moving astrologically. So on the day of the equinox, it goes from Virgo season, which we're in right now, which I quite like, to Libra season. So we move from an earth sign to an air sign. So we move from our body to our mind. But I feel like Libra isn't, and I say this lovingly because our daughter's Gemini and she's literally the best thing in the entire world. But Libra isn't Gemini. Like, Geminis are overthinkers. They're like meticulous and really, there's a lot going on in their mind. And Libra's, I think, a little bit more like here to just like be the voice of reason in a way. They're represented by the scales, so there's like that harmonious energy, that sense of balance. It's almost, to me, like Libra's a great like body, mind, soul, heart balancer. Right. I would say. I don't know if that's like astrologically correct. That's just the vibe that I get. But yeah, I'm excited to be moving into like that more harmonious energy and like finding balance within ourselves and finding balance outside of ourselves. Because if you look at the astrology, like an astrology chart of the wheel, the first 6 houses are like our personal houses, and then we start working with the 7 to 12, which are the us like interacting with people. So now we're kind of moving into like more social vibes astrologically. So I feel like that like Virgo is like back to school, and we're trying to like get our T's crossed and our I's dotted. I was gonna say eyes crossed.
You don't want your eyes crossed. You don't know where you're looking.
Oof, yeah. But yeah, so we're moving from that like Virgo energy of like getting things organized to like kind of putting ourselves out there and like balancing the things that we are noticing after Virgo season that are not in alignment.
Right.
That one podcast that we listened to today, one of my favorite astrologers that I listened to, was just talking about how this time of the year can really give us the opportunity to make the choice. Libra represents choices, and so one thing that I would say is a big takeaway, if you really zoom out, because I don't want to get into the astrology, I don't know it enough, but like you get to choose what path you take. Like there's a fork in the road at Libra season. You know, you go here, you go this way, it's this path, you go this way, it's this path, and like you get to choose. And if you feel like you're ready to be in a higher timeline or in your highest destiny, like now's a good time to do that.
Right.
These equinoxes, solstices are like a really potent energy to be doing kind of big work like that. So I feel like that'd be one takeaway that would be powerful to like reflect on, journal on. Where do you want to go? Like, what do you, where do you see yourself? Like, what's in your highest alignment? Like, what feels the best for you and not everybody else? Yeah. Even though Libra does want to interact with other people and make harmonious relationships, it's more about Tall's trying to eat moths right now. Oh my god. We're gonna cut this out.
Yeah, we'll edit that out.
Yeah. Yeah, Libra's about making a choice for yourself. Like, I feel like personally, Libra on the negative side can be like people pleasing in a way, and it can be like, I must make everybody around me feel comfortable. Where I feel like on a higher vibration, it's like, I'm in a good place and I'm putting that out there. Like, that's the energy I'm showing up with, so everybody around me can feel good. Not I'm making everybody feel good.
Right.
You know? So, anyways, I won't go too deep into that because I could probably talk astrology shit all day and, again, be probably blowing smoke half the time. So, but yeah, I'm excited to, like, continue moving into these more, I don't know, revolutionary times, but also I just feel better. I just feel better than the summer.
Yeah.
The spring was so hard. Being in the first trimester of pregnancy.
We didn't really have a spring. It was like literally winter and then summer.
Yeah, weather-wise, but like on an emotional level, it was like eclipse season. Literally rocked my soul. And then the summer, I was like in my Saturn return. And it's just like, wait, what? Like, where was I for the last 6 months? And then I was
for the
fucking
last
pregnant.
quarter just to rock it and kill it. That's all I was doing.
This is like the last October, November, December, and a little bit of September that we have a family of 3.
Yep.
We go from a family of 3 to a family of 4 in like less than 4 months.
In January. Yep. Family of 4.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. We've been like slowly getting, I feel more jazzed about it now that we know it's a girl. We're like, I don't know, like collecting Lil's old clothes and organizing them and stuff.
Things that are not stained and.
Oh god, that girl. I'm just gonna eat like a fruit bar and smear it all over my white shirt. It's like, okay.
Who makes white shirts for kids?
I don't understand.
Who buys white shirts for kids?
My mom. Not us.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Remember when we bought all those white onesies and she just pooped through every single one?
Yep, it's gone.
So what's the point?
Exactly.
So anyways, we are excited because we pulled some cards before we moved into this episode, and we were just like, well, I'll speak for myself. I was just like asking the cards what energy collectively we're moving into. We normally pull cards for ourselves, and we haven't done like readings out there at all. So this is a little different. I mean, I have for people, but me and Leon
I've never ever done a reading for anybody.
No,
but myself. Other than myself. I picked one card for myself, I must say, because
it just came to
me.
Yeah,
and we'll tell you about that in a second.
Yeah, that's a story in
a hot minute.
But yeah, so we pulled some cards just to kind of like set the stage for the collective energy for this season, and I'm just gonna go to fall because I feel like we could really talk winter and all this stuff in the rest of the year, but let's go from like the fall equinox to the winter solstice. This is the overarching energy that we're feeling into. So yeah, so the cards that I pulled are from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed and 2 other people, Alberto and Marcella. I don't know their last names, can't pronounce them. But this is a really cool deck. It's like very earthy, and I've used it for years. I love it. So the cards that I pulled from this deck, if you're familiar, if not, I'm just going to talk you guys through them. But the first one was the Tree of Life, then I got Lightning, and then I got Pachamama. So to me, the Tree of Life really represents this like ability to be on earth and embodied and grounded, and then also have your connection to the higher realms, like spirit, divine, whatever word you call it. To me, this is representative of like the season moving forward is about like, well, I guess I'm just thinking about this right now. We were just in Virgo season, so that's earth, that's like grounding, and then we're moving into Libra, which is air, which is our head, our mind, that connection. So finding a balance between the two, finding that harmony, that interconnectedness. I'm just looking at the visual here. But really allowing yourself the time to like set those roots and become really stable before you try to like fly up and live in the ethers. Although I know when the world gets hard and the human experience is challenging, it's not necessarily easier, but maybe a little better feeling. I don't know what other words to describe it, just to be in the clouds. But really it's essential to have that like grounding and that sense of security and that sense. Looking at this card, I'm just looking at the numerology of it too, and it adds up to 13, which is 4 when you reduce it to a single digit, and that is like the ultimate like security. If you think of 4 in the tarot, it's always like a square or like a foundation, and I think this card is really guiding us to set the foundation now, so that for the rest of the year and then into the new year we can really feel grounded in our experience and our human experience, and with that be so much more connected to divine source, to the universe, whatever your source is. That's a good way of putting it. So then I pulled the lightning card, which is
amazing. I love lightning.
I know, and this is just like wild. There was a little bit of, anyways, I can just see more images in these cards in this lighting for some reason, but this card is really interesting because I just thought it was like a lightning bolt and like a swirl of lightning in the sky, but actually if you tilt it you can kind of see like a human being, the outline of the human. Excuse me, and there's this lightning, this like swirl of lightning energy through the heart and the solar plexus. And to me, this is like really igniting something in our heart center. It's like cultivating something. And when you think of creativity and, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at creativity. I always think of like sacral, your womb space if you're a woman. But like this is really showing that you can like create from that heart center, and you can really cultivate some like powerful energy from the heart and the solar plexus. Heart being, you know, how you show love, how you receive love, your ultimate guide. And I would say
also a lot of great ideas start with a spark.
Yes.
You know, and a spark can turn into a huge power bolt. You know, if you ever watched The Watchmen, you know there's a hero on there that is, I think he's the human atom, and he's created of energy. Most of his powers are lightning, and he looks like this lightning guy on there, blue, and he has a third eye and everything.
Wow.
And
like a physical third eye?
Physical third eye.
Interesting.
It's amazing. So yeah, if you haven't seen The Watchmen, watch it. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie, and a little gruesome, and a little bit risque, so don't watch it with your kids if you have kids.
I've never seen it.
We'll have to watch it. It's really good.
But I feel like gruesome isn't my style. Risque I'm into. But yeah, I just feel like this is like, even especially like with the other two cards, it's like reminding us that we have this ability to really spark or to cultivate. Like you have the spark, the universe downloads something into your mind or your heart, you get this feeling, and then you have the ability to really cultivate something big out of it.
Yes.
It just feels like this time of the year is going to be like electric. There's energy, there's a lot of energy, but it's not heavy. It's not as heavy. It's more creative, it's more loving, and I feel like it's more supportive. And I say that because this last card is like the ultimate mother. It's Mother Earth. It's Mother Gaia, whoever and however you want to say her name. But like, she will ultimately take care of us all. And this card is just mother. Like, she's our mother. This card to me is like, you know, in a way, always know you're taken care of. In another way, take care of her and just show her love and use this fall season before the snow starts and the ground freezes too much to like be with her. Go outside, do your offerings, you know, clean up your garden, clean up your flower beds, all that sort of stuff. Just connect with her, like physically, and then like feel that interconnection. It's not just a one-sided thing. You know, like a mother's love is unique in the way that like mostly is unconditional and will love you no matter what, but it's beautiful when the child then becomes like the child of earth, or the child of the mother becomes giving too. You know, conscious giving, because I feel like Lil gives to us in amazing ways. Yeah, and she doesn't even know it, she just is. But I feel like those cards are really, really powerful. And
like I don't know where you guys are all located in Regina or other parts of Ontario or around different parts of Canada. But here we had so much rain in the last 3 days.
We're in like northern Ontario.
Yeah. And I feel like it's just a huge cleansing and purification. Like I've always loved the rain, and I've always loved the rain as like cleansing and purification and just like, you know, cleansing our souls, cleansing Mother Earth.
It's like, yeah, it's Mother Earth's gift to us to like really release some stuff.
Yeah, and it's just so beautiful, and I think that's what's going on, because before we know it, like it is going to get colder, and that rain is going to turn into snow. It's inevitable.
Yeah,
but
which doesn't feel as cleansing.
Yeah, you know, it stays.
Yeah, it's a little more sticky.
It's beautiful once it happens, but also it stays. And once the snow is melted, and you have that muck and dirt and crap on the ground, that rain comes again to clear that out and cleanse it away. Yeah. So it's like a cycle.
It's the spring and the fall equinox being so powerful on like just a total natural, in a totally natural way. Yep. You know?
1000%.
But yeah, I totally feel that. I didn't really think of fall as like a super rainy time. I couldn't believe the amount of rain we've gotten. And you're the only reason I actually like rain, because my whole life my mom was like, I hate the rain. My hair.
Because it stops you from doing things that you want to do, but really it stops you. It gives you the time to rest.
It gives you the time to slow down.
It gives you the time to rest and to just, and if you just stand there and listen to the rain and just watch it, it is the most soothing.
It's the most beautiful thing. People literally listen to that to go to bed.
Oh, I do. I used to listen to 10 hours of rain.
Rain, yeah.
On a tin roof. And it's just so beautiful, right?
That'd be a dream, actually, of mine, to get a tin roof.
Yep, the rain sounds so good on there.
I had a tin roof at one point in my life, and it did sound really amazing. And the only thing that sucked was all the water coming through the window, but still.
So I pulled some cards too, and I'm like super nervous because I've never ever done a reading on like anywhere other than myself and with Krista. Yeah. But I pulled from the Winterest Animal Oracle deck.
Winterseer.
Why did I say Winterseer? Oh,
you always
I read upside down. Winterseer Animal Oracle, and I love Animal Oracle decks. I don't know. I just feel like I resonate with animals a lot more.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, totally.
And the cards I pulled the Bull, and the Bull is obviously power. Yeah. Yeah, I love power. Power, not like power is like I want power, but as in the power to like you have the power to like achieve the things that you want to achieve and to push through hard times if you need to. And
to me, it's like more of a grounded power. It's not an ego trip power. The Bull. Yeah. It's like more of a grounded, really spiritual power in a way. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, totally.
I don't know if you can say that.
Yeah, totally. You can say whatever you want.
True.
For sure.
It's our pod.
Yeah. And then the card, like, it's a gray bull, but also there are fall leaves. Like, you see there's a tree, and it's almost got all the leaves off of it. And you can see that the wind is taking the last remaining leaves off of it, and those leaves are orange and red and yellow. So you can definitely see the fall in this. And it's telling you just to keep going. You're almost there. You're almost done. There was like this year. Yeah. And the last quarter. And the bull represents good fortune and like good luck. And no matter what you're doing, if you're starting something new or you are working and you feel like you are struggling or you feel like you are not getting the results that you want, just to keep going and trust, because you have the energy of the bull behind you,
and within you.
And within you, and just to keep pushing forward. And also, it does, like the bull sometimes will take a rest as well, and the same, to find that balance as well too. Yeah. But when you are working, to work hard. Yeah. And keep going at it. And then I also picked a card. This is okay. I'm gonna preface this with this story here.
I love a good preface. Leon.
So I was out getting food that I should not have been getting. Yeah, because now our bellies are like killing us.
Bad fucking decision.
But sometimes when I'm waiting for things and I'm all by myself and I'm not really talking to anyone, I get into my head and I kind of like start creating and like where I want to take things. And I have it, like, as you probably already know, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm like, I want to like make it something really important now, something that adds great value to people's lives, and like I can build my business off of that and give people the tools that they need to create the life that they want, because I feel like that's what I'm doing with my life right now. Yeah. Is that the tools that I've like gone throughout the years and things, I'm using them, and I feel very enlightened and very like I'm on this huge upward momentum.
I feel like you're like really stepping into like being empowered and embodying all of the things that you like believe in. You're actually doing them, or you have been doing them, and so much so that you can actually share them. Right. And teach them. And
it feels like so great. And as I was like thinking that in my head, and like I also had like a little bit of like imposter syndrome and like self-doubt in my head too, and like almost like, oh, why sort of like, why am I doing this? Like I'm always like second guessing what I want to do and if I'm doing the right thing, and like if I'm even like adding value to the world, or if I'm just taking again. And this like beautiful green hummingbird, as I was waiting, just flew, and just like normally when a hummingbird like flies, it just flies right by you. Zing, just like you hear it after it's gone, right? Yeah. But it's like it stopped like right in front of me. Like it didn't stop. It was still fluttering. It was raining really, really fast, but like it just looked like it stopped, and it stayed right around in my chest area and my stomach area for about like a good like 5 seconds. Like kind of like 5 seconds.
A long time for a hummingbird.
Yeah, like a long time. And just like zipped back and forth between my chest and my stomach, and like side to side. And it was like a bright green color, and it was just so beautiful. And the first card that I pulled tonight was the hummingbird. Yeah. And it's a bright green hummingbird with a red head.
It looks identical.
It looks identical to what I saw today, and it was just like, I'm like, whoa, what a divine, like, totally. I don't want to say coincidence.
Synchronicity.
Because it's not a coincidence. It's like, it's like definitely telling me something to like, that what I'm doing is like the right thing to be doing. Yeah. And to keep going. Because it's like the card determination. The hummingbird is such a determined bird. It's the smallest bird. It's a really, really fast bird. But it's been known to like fight birds that are 2, 3 times, 4 times its size. Wow. And I have this also, like we did a podcast about like work and stuff like that. And I have like this I'm a workaholic in ways and stuff like that. But the hummingbird has like a good balance of like when it like is flying around, is working, is spending, it's like exuding so much energy, right? Like you think about it, and it needs to like stop. So it goes into like this state that's like deeper than sleep. It's kind of like a mini hibernation, and it's like kind of telling you like you have determination, but you also need to like rest when you can, because I'll like bust my ass. Yeah. 12 hours a day for 4 days straight. Just bust my ass and just keep going and work hard, and then by the time I get home, like I am so dead that like I have a hard time like paying attention when Krista she wants to tell me her day, and I have a hard time just like paying attention. I'm just like, I could just go to bed right now.
He's sleeping with his eyes open at this point.
Like I'm so sorry. I can go to bed right now.
We don't record podcasts. Actually, we record podcasts only on your rotation night.
Because I had to stay up for 24 hours. Because he has to stay up for 24
hours, and I don't even know how many we've done. But it has to be on days off when we've had ample rest. Because we need to be able to articulate. Yeah. And
but like when I saw this bird and I saw this card, like I instantly looked up like, okay, what does the hummingbird mean? Like,
Oh,
I
you
have
did?
to
I
see,
was
yeah.
wondering, yeah.
And it was like good luck, good fortune, and all this like good positive energy stuff. And I was okay, like this is my sign to like not stop what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like I have this like deep fear that I'm just not gonna like reach people at all.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think the audience is gonna find me.
Yeah.
My audience is gonna find me. And I have this like you know, I have this like instant gratification like complex that like I just like always like hit the nail on the head right away.
Right.
You know, everything I've done has always been physical.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter like what I did. I just like nailed it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in like a cocky way. It just happened. Like it's just like
you just had like a really good run of good luck and like. And in a way, you're naturally athletic and you're naturally physical, so those always just like worked out for you.
Yeah. And then so
then whereas this is a lot more creative. Vulnerable, creative, heart centered, and your mind plays a role, but it's less of that. It's more from that area where that bird was flying around.
Yeah. So I have a hard time like. I personally have a hard time like just dealing with that completely and just understanding my own thoughts and feelings at times, but like, or even just talking about them. But like now is like, it's like the sign. Like now is the time for me to share my story and share things that I've gone through, things that have like helped me through my life and like have lifted me up to the world.
I feel like everybody in the world needs to live a little bit more like you, and I know I say that because I'm your partner and I love you and I'll always lift you up. But truly, if the world started to embrace more positive, like, content, joyful energy, like, where would we be if we could all be a little bit more just happy with our lives without fucking needing to be, you know, always grasping for something or hanging out in scarcity mindset. Like, you know, as an outsider looking in on what you're doing, the world needs it. It's just determination.
It just takes time.
And you gotta like be vulnerable because that's what the world needs. The world doesn't need any more stone cold fucking people telling us how to live our lives and run our shit. We need people who are like real.
Yes.
And like heart centered.
Yeah.
That's where the world's going.
So also like Hummingbird is for everyone that feels like they are doing something and they feel like they're just not where they want to be. Right. Just be determined and know that like the beauty is within you because hummingbirds are truly beautiful.
What is that? Is that a moth?
It's a moth.
Whoa. Yeah. It's a big moth, sorry.
There is a huge moth.
That's like a triple the size of any of those other moths. It's like a butterfly.
Yeah.
I feel like the other thing about these two cards though is like the hummingbird, weren't you talking about like magic and like it's the closest thing to fairies? Yeah,
it's very like
that makes me feel just like warm and fuzzy inside. I'm like, oh, I love hummingbirds.
I truly believe in magic. Like I truly 100% believe that Harry Potter is 1000% real, and that stuff happens, and there are people that can do that sort of stuff, and I believe that I can do it. I just have to learn how to really let go and be open to it and like not be ashamed of believing in it. And that's kind of my blockage. And I know that everyone around us, like we all have magic in us. We can all do magic, but we've been taught to like get it out of you because that's just silly. Yeah. You know, that imagination is dumb and stuff like that. And it's not like we all have magic. Like I think when someone has the ability to go from homeless to creating something so beautiful that helps them create the life that they want, they had the magic in themselves to change that mindset and to like cultivate something in them and to alchemize.
I was gonna just say that word.
And to alchemize.
That was the word that
their dreams and like dreams are magic. They are magic, and like magic is all around us, and we just have to, you know. If I'm a kid, I want to be a kid for the rest of my life and just
but don't fuck with the cats too much. This is you as a kid. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be like a child.
But sometimes the cats deserve it.
They actually do. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll take it back.
But like,
we'll allow it.
but yeah, like magic is real, and it's just kind of reminding me that like, very like, hummingbirds are fairies.
Yeah.
They're little fairies.
As soon as you read that, my heart just like swelled up. I'm like, this is the sweetest thing.
Like, yeah, and bulls are like druids.
Yeah.
Ancient, wise, you know, sorcerers.
Yeah.
That have like so much power, but they don't hoard that power.
It's
they
not
share
exactly.
that power, and they share their wisdom with, you know, the world. So yes, magic is real. The podcast is called Magic is Real with Krista and Lee.
We are officially changing our name. No. Okay, so I feel like thank you for doing that, Leon. That was really
I
awesome.
was really nervous, but like it just
happens. It's just like if you like listen to your heart and you look at the cards and you feel them, it'll all come through. Yeah. That's how I feel.
You're all bull and hummingbirds. You're humming bulls.
Humming bulls.
Yes.
We're your humming bulls.
Humming
That's
bulls.
funny. We're your bull birds.
It's bull birds.
Humming bulls is funny.
Humming bulls. Yeah, all humming bulls. Trust those energies and go get what you need and what you want.
Because ultimately, like those two cards, the outcome of of those energies being on the highest expression is like prosperity, security, not in the way that we've been taught, but self-security, like feeling really secure within yourself, and then like joy and magic and
wonder.
Like there's those are beautiful energies to be moving into in the fall. And personally.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.